I didn't even look at the video, the original Mr. Beast video for this, honestly. Completely missed it. Just sort of like, Mr. Beast has kind of gone off my radar after a while. But apparently he went to Mexico and did something there to the Aztec people's temple. Like, you better not be messing with my temple. For those who don't know, I am Ozomatli, the companion spirit of Shichipili, the Aztec god. I am the companion spirit of fire, fun, and games. And dancing. So apparently, Mr. Beast has been like messing with my temple back home, and I'm just like, what the fudge, bro? Quit messing with my stuff. Sir. Yeah, that was me. I'm like, get out! That's my stuff. Quit touching it. That's actually my neighbor Alfonso.
Beast, Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast is obviously a YouTuber that everyone knows and loves. But unfortunately, it seems that for Mr. Beast, he cannot keep himself out of trouble. Even if he isn't causing any kind of drama, drama is always finding him. Mr. Beast is...
I'll be real though, a lot of the stuff that he was getting in trouble and canceled for though, some of that, if not, but not all of it, but definitely quite a hefty amount of it, especially some of the more heavier charges, were pretty much cleared, or in some cases, just sort of went without answers.
Is no stranger to this channel, and I'm sure, which no one would like to admit, but the month where Mr. Beast was in controversy and everyone was making videos, oh my god, people were eating good that month. The last time I talked about Mr. Beast was in the Aesop video where he had this like Mr. Beast experience and you got like a goodie bag and stuff. It was kind of mid, but there are definitely...
Was that the one where everybody, like all the parents were like, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Wasn't there like an event where like a bunch of parents were like, I can't believe you've done this to us? No, that was the Logan Paul one, wasn't it? Where like a bunch of parents took their kids and it was like a mess.
Any worse conventions that can go on.
Okay, no, it was this one. It was the Oompa Loompa one.
Or experiences, like for example, TanaCon. Now, fun video where he had this like Mr. Beast experience and you got like a goodie bag and stuff. It was kind of mid, but there are definitely worse conventions that can go on or experiences.
Yeah, okay. So this one was for the Willy Wonka movie, where it was just like a meth head Willy Wonka. Oompa Loompa! Yeah, okay, I think it was the Logan Paul one that I was thinking of.
Enough, this is actually quite a new drama for Mr. Breast, because usually what happens is he finds himself in hot water with another YouTuber. But it seems at the minute that the nation of Mexico, so that is the entire country, is now going after him with a lawsuit. To be more descriptive, he's facing a lawsuit from the National Institute of Anthropology and History following a video that he recently put out. This is where Mr. Breast and all of his friends explore ancient Mayan ruins. He has been on this trend a little bit, if you've seen recently.
Ancient Mayan ruins.
You know, going out to places that are usually very old and trying to explore them. I was actually really disappointed when he did the video where he rented out the pyramids in Egypt. He should have done a bit where he's like, in this video, I'm gonna resurrect Ramesses III and offer him $10,000. I do want to say...
To eat this entire lunchly in one sitting. And he just throws up.
Well, no hate to Jimmy, but that... Please, there are so many people that do it. They do it because they're copying Mr. Beast, or it's this just like, I just call it TikTok accent. The same way that content creators like that speak is like the same way how they train news reporters or weather people in America to have like a non-descriptive accent, so they appear more applicable to like other groups and stuff. Could you imagine?
Oh, yeah, when they like enunciate every single word so that you can understand and clearly read it on the prompter. Therefore, the subtitles on the channel can go ahead and pick up every single word very clearly and very enunciated, and therefore the subtitles will be much more accurate and the final product. You get what I'm saying? It's like a really freaking weird way to talk. He does that all the time.
Imagine if I began my overly long analysis videos by saying, in this video, I'm gonna play through the whole game and explain every single detail. It's basically...
Yeah, see, it's the enunciation. It's like it's like nobody speaks with such enunciation in real life.
A narrated playthrough. I do that voice and I literally just hear like Livy Dunn, Baby Gronk.
Livy Dunn is angry with Baby Gronk. Does this make Baby Gronk
Baby Gronk?
the Grand Riz Master?
The Grand Riz Master?
No way that's your real voice. So So again, if you've kept up with the MrBeast channel, you'll see that 3 months ago, he posted a video, I spent 100 hours inside the pyramids. Half the video is inside the pyramids, the other half is basically walking around outside, but the main focus of the video was to explore the pyramids of Giza while basically having a tour guide. And I mean like a legitimate tour guide, because I have seen so many videos.
Brother, the only videos about pyramids I want to see is the camel by camel Anka dance.
Of people walking around the pyramids in Egypt, and you'll get these guys that go
camel
over to
by
you,
camel,
you, tricking you into thinking they're like an authority figure. Some of them even blow whistles and stuff to like trick you into thinking they're police, only to basically
oh, what a comeback for that freaking song, am I right?
Money off you.
A bit closer to the pyramid. No, it's okay. The whistle hustle is probably one of my favorite ones. These guys will just come up, blow their whistle at you and point, and you assume that they're an authority because they have a whistle. And most people will tend to just follow them.
Now, at the time, this video was being really hyped up because it was still on the bigger scale of his normal videos, but it moved away from the, you know, giving people money thing. And there were even some articles that were being published at the time that he got special permission to rent out the pyramids and get access to areas that the public just couldn't go and visit. Although, apparently, at the time as well, the Egyptian government weren't too happy because the Ministry of Tourism actually put out a statement saying, no, you can't just rent out historical landmarks to YouTubers. And then that, of course,
So was it all just a scam? Wait, are you telling me he got scammed into renting out the pyramid?
And this tweet was made, which translates from Arabic into God Almighty, eliminate this white devil. But basically...
Oh, that's not good. Oh, no. What a reaction!
The point I'm trying to make is MrBeast has been expanding into content away from just giving people money, which, you know, is great. I've seen the philanthropy...
I'm gonna be honest with you, just keep giving people money. I think a lot of people like that.
Channel, the guy gives back a lot, but he's obviously wanting to go into a change in content or a variation with usually him surviving somewhere or exploring something. Now, for me...
Just why? Like, why do they always gotta go for, like, these, like, why, like, these, like, just unnecessarily, like... You know what I mean? It's always like, I'm MrBeast, and I'm gonna give $1 million to all these people to start consuming a cow's butthole. It's like, why? Like, why do you always gotta go, like, to the most extreme of, like, wild thing? Like, I feel like MrBeast could so easily, comfortably, and almost, like, nonchalantly do, like, Damn, even now I want to do it. I don't even want to give out this idea. It's a good idea. I'm now announcing patent pending OzDaMonke's content creators island survivor, where I take a bunch of content creators and put them on an island, and I'm like, and then they gotta survive for like a month.
MrBeast, the Egypt video was a success. It got nearly 200 million views, and he's also...
Why a month? Cause like, what is it? It's like 3 days for like before you die from no water, and like 30 days if you like you die from like no food. So it's kind of like, if you suck so bad that I can't, like, you haven't gotten food in, like, a month, it's like, I gotta pull you out of the game. Like, there's no more, it don't count no more.
I mentioned before that he's taken an interest of going around and recording the 7 wonders of the world. Because earlier this week, he actually posted a video where he...
Nah, but yes, though, you could totally do, like, I forced all these creators to survive in the wild for a week. 1 week. 5 days. Just, you gotta survive in the wild. You hungry today? Well, you better go hunt something. You better catch a crab. You better catch a fish. Something.
He was exploring some ancient Mayan temples. Although I will be honest, when I watched the video, I was a little bit confused if he faked it or if it was actually filmed in Mexico because there was no yellow filter.
Oh, and then I would do things like, if you guys donate like $100 to charity, I will give the survivors a canteen for water. Oh, if you guys donate $200 to charity, the next goal, I will give them a fishing rod with no bait.
Another Breaking Bad joke. Now, seeming you're watching this video on this channel, I'm going to assume that you have the IQ of around a very brave 5 points. So let me give you a little bit of history. The Mayan civilization was a really old society that lived in Mexico.
Bro, imagine like day 5, right? Day 5, like you starving, you hungry, like things are not working out, and then like out of nowhere, boom, a little parachute from the sky falling down, and it parachutes to Lunchly down, like Lunchly, you could sponsor me, right? Like I don't care, like I'll find out, like you could, and then like oh damn, look at that, they're starving, and now Lunchly instead, and then you know, like, I don't know if they still eat it, right? Like at that point, they might just go looking for something in the island. Like at that point, I think even a dead animal would probably be a better nutrition. But you know, you would, but at the very least, you'd be able to freaking, like, you know, you could be like, oh, look at the lunch lead, they gave us food, oh, they saved us.
They were also big into pyramid building. One of the most famous examples is El Castillo. Like, you can see pictures online of El Castillo before and after it was unearthed.
P.S. I don't care what anybody freaking says. Screw all you. I purchased a freaking moldy lunch lead one time. It was freaking disgusting.
And it is pretty crazy to look at. Yeah,
I didn't take a picture. I didn't freaking make a big deal. One of my siblings bought it, and it was all nasty as hell. Like literally the next day after we bought it. Like we bought a couple, and then like on Monday or whatever the frick, and then Tuesday it was rotten, and we were like, what the frick? So we threw away, like, I don't even know if it was just, I think it was just one. We threw it away, and basically after that, Papa Monkey was like, I'm never spending money on that stupid thing. It's like overpriced. It's more expensive, and on top of that, it freaking came out rotten. Screw that. And we just never bought it before after that.
Built
we never bought it after that, so...
You're probably playing Siege on your second monitor, or League, or Fortnite. God.
I got a pet peeve with lunch lead. That was a freaking waste of money.
That is until they put Raven Team Leader back in the item store. Until then, nah, just go away. And I think it's crazy that something like...
And it wasn't just the cheese, it was everything. It was all molded. The freaking crackers were stale as hell. It was like the packaging sucked.
Buildings as well, like for example, Machu Picchu, that was lost for loads of years before being rediscovered. I'm sure Machu Picchu has no association with the famous Japanese video game character Pikachu. Also, if you remember something really...
Oh, actually, they created Machu Picchu when they found out about Pikachu in Celebration.
Funny about the Mayans. Let's roll back to the year 2012. Do you remember when everyone thought the world was going to end there? But again, as we know, the world hasn't ended because nothing ever happens. I mean, let's be real for a second though. Why would the world end? You know, we've got so many amazing things. Look at all the things you can do. You could get off Discord and go touch some grass. I mean, if you don't want to do that, you...
That's disgusting. Why would I do that? I'm allergic to grass.
Amazing video games like,
Nah, my skin actually genuinely turns red and gets itchy if I touch grass. I can't.
I'll get back to you on that one. You could watch...
Y'all joke about it, but I actually genuinely really am allergic to grass. It was a really bad problem when I used to play soccer as a kid.
Shows like...
I had to shower immediately as soon as I got home, otherwise I'd get like rashes.
Watching it. So one of the reasons why this video got a lot of controversy is because, first of all, okay, elephant in the room right now, it's Mr. Beast. Okay, like he's reached this point now where he's became such a huge entity, he could give away all of his money and people would still find a way to attack him. But throughout the video,
admittedly, again, some deserved, some not.
Mr. Breast and his crew were basically having tour guides with them. They'd show the sights and then also tell the group about like cultural significances. And it's really funny the difference where you've got these guys that are like so invested in the culture and the significance, and you've basically got Mr. Breast and his friends showing about as much intelligence as you guys in chat watching my stream.
You look like an...
I gotta admit though, I feel like that's a good thing, because you can sort of like appeal to both the people who are genuinely interested in it, but also still get the comic relief. And I think it's a good format.
Onion. Winky face.
I think it can go really far.
For example, one part of the trip was actually spent at a temple previously used for the Mayans for human sacrifices. And then when they find out the temple's use, what do? They add in a vine thud.
Was it for sacrifices?
Yes, you got it.
Yes! I got something right! What a nerd. Bro lost his hat. A water guide.
There's this film I really recommend everyone watches, by the way, and it's called Apocalypto. It was done by Mel Gibson, or the Mr. Loud Shout.
I'm gonna be real with y'all, okay? And this is coming from Ozomatli, okay? The companion spirit of Shichipili, alright? Too soon. Too soon. Come on, man. Too soon. Way too soon, bro. You know how many people we sacrifice? I mean, we sacrificed them, right? Like, that was, like, fully, like, we did it, like, for fun. But, how dare you bring it up?
Man. And in Apocalypto, despite it being horrendously inaccurate as a film, that also shows the Mayan civilization, and it also shows human sacrifices. And this is gritty and visceral and brutal. Could you imagine in that film if Mel Gibson said on the editing floor, "Oh, just add a vine thud sound effect there. That'd be great." There's also one point in the video as well where they enter this kind of like sacred cave, and they're literally told beforehand,
This isn't a freaking movie. It's not a biography. It's not a freaking educational video intended to give you a freaking rundown of how it was back in the day. Nobody's watching this Mr. Beast video for that. That's such a freaking, like, weird and wild reason to try to, like, cancel him. No.
And it has great significance to the Mayan culture, to the point that they actually have to do an entire ritual beforehand. And people weren't happy as well with how it was basically treated like it was an entire bit. The thing is, I do want to play devil's advocate here. I think it's...
Okay. I can agree there. Yeah, if you're doing the whole, like, thing, it's a part of their culture, it's something... Don't be a douche.
Really difficult to have this kind of balancing act of trying to show something to a larger audience and also being respectful, because I mean, it doesn't sound that hard, but the problem is if they just walked around and they were like, yes, 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 no one would watch that video. When you reach the size of a channel like Mr. Beast, you are craving retention. You want to burn the dopamine receptors of like all the little kids that are watching you on their iPad, so they keep watching your content. That's why TikTok and YouTube Shorts are absolutely killing it right now. And to try and convert that, you know, dopamine into a longer form video, it's pretty difficult. There were also people claiming as well that Mr. Beast might not have even been able to go into these areas because archaeologists also weren't allowed to enter. But it was later proven that this actually wasn't the truth, because there are some areas that aren't actually always open to the public, which did cause some locals to basically criticize the government for allowing to let him and his team in.
Those of us here know the importance of that, and we respect the fact that they don't let us in. But for the authorities to let outsiders somehow access these places by any means, either because they paid or because of sites, or so that more people come here to visit, well, if it's this frustration of why do they let them in and they're not respecting our heritage?
Now, one thing
You see, and honestly, and absolutely, like, I fully agree with her take. How is it that the Mexican government is like so okay with, like, I get that it's for tourism, right? You want to allow them to go and explore it, you know, make a video and you know, increase its popularity. It'll get a lot of views, get tourism into Mexico. However, because and I wouldn't even necessarily blame the Mexican government for this, right? Maybe for like choosing this specific person or not for not being more intricately involved with the creation, or at least assigning somebody that could like ensure that it was all done respectfully. But at the end of the day, that responsibility also should come down onto Mr. Beast. Like, you kind of need to understand the weight of the responsibility you're being handed here by being given special permission, special access to these areas. Like, how are you going to be given access to an area where even the people who live there are not given the access to it? You're getting this special treatment, and you're gonna act a fool and like disrespect it? That does fall on Jimmy. But I do understand, and I feel like people also need to understand, and maybe even the Mexican government, when they granted him permission, needed to understand, this is not a documentary. Jimmy is not, like, Mr. Beast is not a... He's not there to freaking, like, show off the culture and history and historical significance of the temple. He's there for, like, to make a freaking wacky video for kids. And at that point, I feel like that falls for sure on the government for, like, why wouldn't you hire an actual team of people to promote these areas to tourists, as opposed to just letting this random freaking YouTuber do it and not even being involved to the point where you don't even, like, make sure that they're doing it in a respectful way.
He means either because they paid or because of sites, or so that more people come here to visit. Well, if it's this frustration of why do they let them in and they're not respecting our heritage?
Now, one thing I did enjoy in the video was the extra steps taken to make the experience more immersive. You felt like you were basically at Disneyland on the funny boat and you just see all the mascots and stuff. Basically, they used a lot of CGI to try to recreate things that the tour guides were talking about. Like, for example, what temples would have looked like in their prime, what certain artifacts would have looked like when they were in use. Like, for example, these pots they mentioned earlier that were actually set on fire at one point. One thing I do love as well, and I get it, man,
That's amazing.
You got a product. I'm literally wearing merch right now. I get it. You get that bag. But like in the middle of like them having a dinner, he instantly starts shelling Feastables again. I would try Feastables, but I'm too petty to give another YouTuber money. So in a similar fashion to the Egypt video,
Hold on.
First of all,
First of all, brother has the spread. Yes! Oh no, mad respect to this spread out right here. Oh hell yeah. No, that's a Mexican motherfucker cooking right there. Oh my goodness, I am hungry! Oh my god!
Having a
Okay.
dinner, he instantly starts shelling
Some chicken
Feastables again. I
tacos
would
with
try
the
Feastables, but I'm too petty to get
Oh,
the
with some
YouTuber money.
serranos,
So,
you
in a
just freaking
similar fashion to the Egypt video, a lot of people were confused as to how him and his team actually got access. At one point, even the president of Mexico called into question when and where he got the permit from. We disproved.
Okay, that is where it starts to get interesting. But more than that, I don't know. I think it's fine. Like, freaking like, it's one thing to like make a video and then promote your product. No, duh. You know, of course, you gotta freaking like promote your merch. You can't get mad at people for trying to get their bag. But there's a time and a place for it, right? It's fine. In the middle of your video is a perfectly fine place to promote your freaking like your product. Like a lot of people just don't like. A lot of people just hate the idea of YouTubers trying to earn a living or just trying to make any money. Period.
Of any commercial pursuit that distorts the value of archaeological sites, which are a legacy of our indigenous cultures and the pride of our nation. This also prompted the National Institute of Anthropology and History, or the INAH, to then publish a response statement. Basically, they claimed where the visits were carried out in accordance with the jurisdictions. And then also at one point as well, they tried to claim that he faked part of his video. I mean, if that's with the CGI restoring the temple, yeah, that might not have actually happened. I don't know. It might have been computers. It should be noted that the video
Yeah, I'm assuming the CGI was not real. I think most people.
evidently involves extensive audiovisual post-production work and alludes to events that never occurred. I don't know why, man. The whole meme with like nothing ever happens, like it's just brain rotted me. For example, the producers never descended from a helicopter, spent the night inside the archaeological site, or possessed a pre-Hispanic mask, as the one presented is clearly a contemporary reproduction. All of these are false assertions that reflect the theatricality of the YouTuber in question.
I'll be real with you though. This is one of those things that I still judge Mr. Beast to this day. A lot of the videos he makes, a lot of them lie. A lot of them add extra CGI, add extra fake footage, add a bunch of fake stuff. This is something that is well known. This is something that is like clear as day. And frankly, not really on a moral question, but more on a content creation side. I think it's stupid. Like, why do you have to keep adding all this fake stuff, the helicopters, all this other nonsense, to like what, make it seem like the budget of the freaking video was like bigger than it actually was? Like, why? Like, it's so fake. I don't like this. I don't like the fakeness of it all.
The INAH also wants Mr. Beast to pay them in damages and also a public retraction for
and like, especially in some situations where they actually I'm not accusing them of it, but it almost made it seem like certain hospital, like I remember in one of the freaking thumbnails that they had, they made it seem like a hospital that was already there and already been existed, and they made it seem like they had built it or they had paid for it to be built, even though it had already existed. And I don't know if it was like I genuinely don't believe it was malicious. I think whoever was making the thumbnail just like probably just like did it of their own accord, or whatever the frick the situation may be. But a lot of it's that's exactly why I feel like you should like not be like, he needs to get control of his editors and tell them to stop being fake as hell about a lot of their content, because it's doing nothing but making him look worse.
failure to comply with the terms of the agreement. And at the time of recording, it does look like the Mexican authorities have actually opened up a lawsuit against the production company Full Circle Media for breach of its agreement. The suit stems apparently, funnily enough, from the mention of Feastables in the video. Apparently, when they did the agreement to film in the first place, the Mexican authorities and government never actually allowed them to promote a private company within the video. It even says here,
oh, yeah, that's entirely on Mr. Beast. That's probably something you should have freaking, like, yeah, okay.
yeah, the nation's heritage, which is public by...
No, sorry. Not necessarily on Mr. Beast. I get if Mr. Beast gets in trouble for it. That sucks. I feel like this is on the production company. I feel like that's something they should be aware of, and something frankly, they probably should have made Mr. Beast aware of. You know, I can't necessarily blame him in its entirety for not necessarily knowing, especially if he sort of has this like sense of security from hiring this company.
Nature cannot be exploited by commercial enterprises. The INAH also claimed as well that Mr. Breast wasn't actually allowed to monetize the video, as apparently it would have counted as exploitation by private hands. Again, unfortunately, it is that tale as old as time. It's trying to make interesting content, but it's also trying to make money as well. I mean, I get it. I know Mr. Beast. He said he's a really humble guy. You know, I remember this clip lives like rent-free in my head. I think he sat in like Casey Neistat's office in London, and Logan Paul's next to him, and he basically said to them both, "I'm the poorest person in this room," which I totally believe, you know?
Actual cash, I'm probably the poorest person in this room.
But at the same time, he's still running a business at the end of the day. If he did that video and there was no way that there would be any kind of like financial incentive there, like having a video monetized or not promoting Feastables, it basically would have been a net loss. But also at the same time as well, if he did...
It absolutely would have been a net loss. He could have ate that net loss. He easily could have ate that net loss. Or... I'm pretty sure, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm almost certain he could have donated all the proceedings to charity, and I'm pretty sure the Mexican government would have worked on him with that. You know, like to a certain degree, I feel like maybe...
CGI, and he didn't do a little bit of embellishing. I mean, come on, we're YouTubers. We are known exactly to use hyperbole and over-embellishing. How many times have you seen a YouTuber and they have the thumbnail like, "It's over, it's finished, I'm done," and it's just like basically them promoting an...
It's gonna be on this thumbnail for this video.
Now, obviously, if he was lying about any of the details or the production company was, yeah, that's like very disrespectful. That really sucks. I think the only silver lining I can see from this really is that that video would show people about Mayan culture and civilizations that they never would have seen, because it's like, what are you watching? You're like doom scrolling YouTube shorts, looking up facts about cyberpunk or something? I love getting recommended shorts to get like a secret car or a gun in a game I uninstalled 8 months ago. Stop doing that, algorithm. And I know for a fact that if Mr. Beast and his team treated this with the respect...
Well, I randomly started getting old cyberpunk, the Snippy, the freaking bullet, the talking Scrappy, whatever, the talking force multiplier. Randomly started getting a bunch of clips just about that guy. Like, what the hell do I care about this for?
That the authorities and I guess the government wanted, no one would have watched it. It would have been a 10 out of 10 and heads would have been rolling. Again, it's that problem now that as more and more people are getting access to the internet, more and more people become content creators and are constantly vying for your attention. And right now, we are probably in the most like ADHD-ridden phase of the internet we have ever seen. And I can't imagine it's going to get much better. Now, I don't want to blame just Mr. Beast for this, by the way. There's a lot of reasons behind it. The companies are like, have you guys noticed? You got YouTube on your phone, like the mobile app? Bro, they added in a 3 times playback speed. 3 times.
Yeah, they did.
They know how cooked our brains are. It's like how when you're watching a Netflix show and you...
Nah, it's good, honestly. I like it, because, like, sometimes I do be, like, watching, like, really, really long freaking videos, like, just in the background.
Can't change the playback speed on TV, but when you watch it on, like, a computer or on a phone, usually when you're probably going to be doing something else and multitasking or, like, double doom scrolling, then you can change the playback speed. He says this as he checks his phone, by the way. The entire point I'm trying to make there, by the way, is phone bad. Unless you buy it in Sweden and you get the tax back like I did. Apart from that, phone bad. The INIH believes that despite the distorted information offered by the YouTuber, the dissemination of this type of material can motivate interest in young audiences in Mexico and around the world to learn about our ancestral cultures and visit archaeological sites that are a valuable national heritage, approaching interpretations attached to scientific knowledge and due appreciation of our original cultures. I was also
which is awesome. There is very, very, very little documentation and exploration into the Mexican culture, Aztec, Mayan, Southern American culture. I want to see it. I love to see it. I really don't want to. I really don't want this video to like get Mr. Beast in too much trouble, especially since I believe it would be incredibly helpful and incredibly good for more people to look into that culture and look into that like history.
Reading online as well that apparently, especially with the Mayan stuff, a lot of people, tourists that go there, they don't treat the area with any kind of respect at all. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I went to Stonehenge in the UK and they basically had to wall everything off because what would happen is people would go to Stonehenge and it's like, I could get a keychain from the Stonehenge shop for £20 or I could steal a piece of Stonehenge. Like, I swear, bro, like half of the
People try to steal Stonehenge, and now what was it? They freaking spray painted it.
Stones that you see at Stonehenge now, they look anorexic, and they've basically been replaced with fake bits of rock that they just picked up on the ground because so many people started stealing them. Like, I swear, bro, like half of the stones that you see at
Damn, yeah, this thing's like not even slanted anymore because it's freaking... It's been knocked down so many times. Wow. This one right here is just entirely, like, added later. That is insane.
Stonehenge now, they look anorexic, and they've basically been replaced with fake bits of rock that they just picked up on the ground because so many people started stealing them to take them home. I mean, there was even a story that came out a couple months ago. There was basically some tourists, and he tried climbing a sacred Mayan pyramid in Mexico. Boo! Boo! I'm gonna boo you! I'm not gonna chase you because that's cardio, but boo! The response the government made was all posted on Twitter, by the way, which is a great way for any governmental agency to...
By the way, I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm gonna boo tourists, and he tried climbing a sacred Mayan pyramid in Mexico.
Oh, I wouldn't trust those stairs. They look smooth. Like, bro's gonna get to the top and slide down, just go boing, 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 boing. Just freaking keep rolling down like freaking Kung Fu Panda.
Boo! Boo! I'm gonna boo you! I'm not gonna chase you because that's cardio, but boo! The response the government made was all posted on Twitter, by the way, which is a great way...
Okay, but wouldn't it be badass if the Mexican government had, like, a bunch of people up there with tranquilizer rifles just freaking ready to... Ha! You know, like, as soon as you start climbing up...
Governmental agency to spread their message. Actually, one thing, maybe I'm just getting a bit old, but have you noticed how governments are trying more and more to kind of be in with, like, the new gens, and it just completely backfires? Like, for example, in the UK, during the COVID lockdown years, you'd have, like, the UK government streaming on Twitch. And also, these announcements feel so informal because you just have Zoomers down below atting Grok, the Twitter AI account. But people were also quick to point out that this wasn't actually the first time that Mr. Beast has tried to use a landmark for some kind of mutual gain. Like, for example, in the Pyramids video, when he was actually allowed to climb underneath the Sphinx statue, he buries a gold swarm. By the way, if you're wondering what swarms are, it's a line of toy collectible that him and his company have made. That's from the Mr. Beast lab. And there's one part as well where one of the tour guides are basically, you know...
You gotta stop doing that. If you're gonna be doing this, you can't just be dropping trash. That's what it is. You're just throwing garbage in the freaking, like...
into the ad read. It's a bit awkward.
Stop!
A little bit awkward.
Robbie, do you have kids?
Yes.
Do you think they'll like some of these?
I think they will obsess over them for the rest of the time.
Now, get ready for this one, because Mr. Beast just now put out a statement. He actually put out a tweet. Can we stop doing that, please? To be fair, how else can you put out an update? Let's be real. So in the tweet, he denies being sued.
Welcome to 2025. Like, even the president official communication is now through Twitter, through tweets.
Basically saying, we are not and have never been sued by them, LOL. This is false, and it saddens me to see people spreading lies. We film with full permits, follow...
Wait, did he read the whole... Where did he start reading it from?
Put out a statement. He actually put out a tweet. Can we stop doing that, please? To be fair, how else can you put out an update? Let's be real. So in the tweet, he denies being sued, basically saying, we are not and have...
Okay, he starts about halfway. I kind of want to read the whole thing. I've seen a lot of stories about a recent video in Mexico and wanted to clear some false things about being said. Me and my team have a great respect for the Mexican and Mayan culture and people. We did this video to get people all over the world excited to learn about more about their culture, much like we did with our pyramid videos. Like, it's very obvious that that is genuinely what you tried to do. Please continue to do that. There's still so much you could watch, you could like explore and see, especially the cave systems in Mexico. Look up the legend of the La Roca de Roque, I think it is. Such a good one. Anyway, but like the point is that there's a lot of freaking really interesting cave systems over there in Mexico that you could absolutely go and make phenomenal videos of, where it even just as a walk along tour through the caves. Like, it's graded, there's everything, it's a very, very, like, a linear experience. There's no, like, oh, you might get lost in the cave. Even doing that would be amazing. But, yeah, be more careful. Especially if there's, like, maybe try to, like, you know, I feel like you have a big enough platform. Try to, like, get the government officials involved. Maybe try to get like a representative from theirs, like that's kind of like, hey, this is our person. They're from the Mexican government. Their job is to make sure that we're being, you know, culturally sensitive. Let's say, you know, so we'll kind of. I don't know. I'm just saying it'll make things a lot easier. We did this video we're not and have never been sued by them. Okay, there we go.
Have never been sued by them, LOL. This is false, and it saddens me to see people spreading lies. We filmed with full permits, followed guidelines, had representatives from government agencies following us, Mexican archaeologists to make sure we were accurate, and representatives from the sites to ensure we were following the rules. Now, this could be true, but again, the INAH still put out a statement saying that they were suing him or suing Full Circle Media. So maybe this is him saying that he isn't being sued, but Full Circle Media could be sued. But one thing he also does...
I mean, for sure, right? Because at the end of the day, if Full Circle Media was effectively the person put in charge of ensuring that this all went smoothly, or like that Mr. Beast did everything appropriately, you know, they're putting it on them.
Does here is clears up the Feastables promotion as well.
They are
Explaining
the
that Mexican government were aware of the promotion, and it was filmed off-site from any national monuments. He also said that the governor of the state that they actually shot it in came to their defense. Mr. Beast's team acted at all times with the utmost responsibility and respect towards our ancestral heritage. All necessary permits and legal procedures were duly processed and authorized.
You know what? That is true, though. When they did the freaking the ad, it was like on a campsite as opposed to over at the temple.
It's by INAM.
It's not like he buried a freaking golden whatever the hell that thing was at the pyramid.
Present during the filming alongside Secure Campeche and the government of Campeche. Like, I don't know how you say the word, okay? I thought it was Campeche, and then it was like cacio pepe. Like, I just think of that girl that says cacio and pepe pasta sauce. I think it's the same place, actually.
What?
You've got someone in government saying he did nothing wrong.
Wait, where?
Secure Campeche and the government of Campeche. Like, I don't know how you say the word, okay? I thought it was Campeche, and then it was like saying he did nothing wrong. He did do the promotion. It was agreed. He did it off-site, and he was totally respectful. But why is the INAH, even though they're saying there that they were there and they saw him and they didn't have a problem, why are they now going out saying they're going to sue? But also as well, a governor's word, even though that could be a respected governor, that isn't representative of the whole of the government. So this could be, you know, some kind of bureaucracy talk to basically level everything out. I think this has to be like the third story in 3 months that he will be accused, Mr. Brest, accused of doing something, and then you kind of find out through context and like more information coming out that that thing didn't actually happen, or it wasn't as malicious as people wanted to make it out to be. But yeah, what's the moral of this video? Don't be poor. There you go. We're done. Also, wanted to say before you click off the video, if you remember...
No, it's the reason why I wanted to look into it too. It's like, some of the stuff was valid that was being accused of. Some of it was definitely not.
Last year, a group of fans got together and animated a music video that was put on this channel. And I'm happy to announce, under contractual obligation, we're doing it again. So if any of you like this, or you want to be involved in the project, the link to that will be down in the description. It's an announcement video, basically running over all the details.
That's freaking sick. I'm not an animator or nothing like that, but if anybody out there needs voice actors, you let me know. This ain't the only voice I do. Absolutely phenomenal video by PyroLive. Phenomenal. No, honestly, I'm glad I looked into it a little bit more. It's freaking wild. I thought it was gonna be like more than this. I thought it was gonna be like, I don't know, he tried to camp inside of like an Aztec. Like, I thought it was gonna be like, fool just showed up, camera crew and all, and just sort of walked into the pyramid and started recording. You get what I'm saying? No, it seems like, alright, at least from what he's saying, there was like officials involved, there's like all kinds of, so it was a big nothing burger sandwich then, honestly. I feel like people are just canceling him to cancel him. He's a big name. And I get it, the guy had some fair criticisms in the past, but this seems like like nonsense to me. Honestly. But please go and drop Pyro go drop him a sub, all that good stuff. Links are in the description, and the Discord for anyone who's here on the live. Hey, Tomodachi! Thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also find links to the videos that we reacted to today down in the description below, along with my Oshi marks. I'll see you in the next video, Monos. Goodbye, and thank you so much for swinging by. Sadu!